Hi there and welcome to my channel. Today's project is for Scrapbook Nerd and today's Tuesday tutorial. This week we're going to be looking at the fall colors and our theme is colors of the fall. So my idea is to bring all those warm, rich tones into a layout. And I'm going to play with a lot of Vicky Beauty products. I actually love them. I not just design for her. I have a lot of the products also come from Scrapbook Nerd because I just like them and I want them for personal use too, not just to create for my design team. So the first thing I'm going to do is to prep the page, and I'm using actually basil cardstock. And you can go two ways to prep a page. You can use gesso, which is what I'm doing right now, and a brayer, or you can use white acrylic paint. Either one will do the same thing. And in this case, I'm using a brayer. You can use a brush, you can use a palette knife, you can use your fingers. It's up to you, which it creates different also it gives texture, and that's one of the reasons why I use a brayer. I don't want texture for this. I want it to be really flat. And I'm going to set it aside to dry. Yes, so it dries pretty quickly. As you saw right now, I went onto Pinterest and actually typed fall color palettes. And that was one of the ones that caught my eye. It has a lot of yellows and pinks and reds and purples. And that's what I see in the sunsets from my window, because I live in an apartment. So I get to see all of that. And I really love them. I have lots of pictures of that. So I wanted to play with those tones. And these are all Vicky Beauty and acrylic pop paints. They go from yellow, pink. I have crushed pineapple, sugar strawberries, macaroon. I have sugar plum pudding. I can go, I'm going to list everything on the blog. And all I'm doing is I'm mixing the tones. And this is what I want to talk to you to create the stripes. And you're going to see that I actually mixed a little bit of yellow with a little bit of the orange and a little bit of white. This is going to be pretty much the base for my entire layout. And all I'm doing right now is lightly dipping the brush in water, lightly, just like the tips of the brush, just to add a little bit of fluidity. Sorry, I have a terrible cold, so it's really hard to go with this. Just a little bit to the paint that I created, and then I'm gonna create my stroke, my stripe. And for this, I'm gonna create one single stroke, and I'm starting from the top. In this case, from the top of the page to the bottom. If I lose paint along the way, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna go on the opposite direction, starting from the bottom to the top. I don't want to start where I finish, because then you're going to have that line that separates them. I want to, in that case, like I said, I'm going to pick up more paint and go from the bottom to the top and slowly build up the stripe without creating the division in the middle. And as you're going to see, I made it really slow. I'm going to speed up the process now. And all I'm doing the same thing. Along the way, I'm lightly dipping the brush in the water, like I said, just to add the fluidity of the paint, and I'm creating my stroke. Super simple. This layout, the background takes no time, but this is where I want to talk to you about. To create the palette, like these are really defined colors, and the transition in the colors can be really harsh, but to create something, soften the transition of the colors, I am going to use the same base. So what I did is I did not clean up the yellow that I had used in the previous stripe. Instead, I am adding the colors on top of the yellow to create my next stripe. And then in my next stripe, I'm going for a coral kind of orangey color, and for that I used a little bit of the fuchsia, a little bit of the pink, a little bit, like I said, I played with the colors until I was happy with the color that I have. And you're gonna see that even though they're different colors, because we're talking about a yellow and a red family, they're warm tones, the transition is not harsh, and it's because there's a single base that it's gonna continue through the color swashes in this case. And you're going to see right now I'm building the reddish tone, and it's going to be a reddish kind of a fuchsia tone to it. And you see that I actually brought a little bit of the red, and they're just you're going to see it when I put it on. It looks really deep, but it's not that big, not that deep. And one of the tones that you're going to see, and you can see the difference, you can see the difference in the tones, but it is not, the transition is not harsh, and it's because again it has that yellow base underneath. Now the next tone I'm going to bring is actually a fuchsia, and for this you're going to see that I'm actually going to use the colors that I already have there. Like I said, I'm building on the color, but I'm going to bring a little bit of the purple. I need to bring a little bit of that cool tone so that in the last swatch, in this case going to be purple, that I can bring that tone into it. And the same thing, I'm using the same type of stroke from top to bottom, and then from bottom to top, edge to edge. If it stops halfway through, don't start at the where it stops. Start at the bottom and build your stroke that way. That way you won't have a line in the middle. Not to build the purple, I'm going to add quite a bit of the purple. It's called plum pudding, I believe. But I'm going to add black paint. And I'm adding black paint to deepen the color. If you add blue, then you're gonna get to a really cool purple, and I don't want a cool purple. I just want to kill the little bit of the coolness but keep the warmth, and for that I need to bring black. And that's the hint to a lot of people get blue and they don't know what to do. Bring a little bit of black, a tiny little bit. It drops on, and then the same technique, and then I have my background. Now the only thing that you realize here is that the yellow, I think I need to have it has to be a little bit thicker. So for that, all I'm doing is mixing a little bit of the yellow with like a very tiny little bit of the orange, and I'm just going to create a smaller stripe on top of it. And that's pretty much it. Love it. This is a picture of my niece, the one I'm going to scrap. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the picture. But before that, I'm going to show you this card file. And this card file is from Vicky Beauty, and you can get it for free in her mixed media community page. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to back it with vellum because I want to keep the whiteness. I want the background that I just created to do a lot of the work for this layout. And like I said, I just glued the paper, sorry, the card file, the cutout, sorry. I cut them out of white cardstock, and I just glued it straight to the vellum and a fussy cut around it. Now what you see me do is I'm trimming at the cardstock that I created, and I'm doing this because I want to keep it really white and I want it to stand out. So I'm going to add a frame of one of the papers in Vicky's Beauty Field Note collection in the background. But before I get there, I want to bring a little bit of interest to the background. I love the color, don't get me wrong, but I think it needs a little bit more. So for this, I am going to use Vicky art crayons, and these are like think of a gelato, a different formulation. Love them. One of my favorite things to use. And what I'm doing is I'm using the stencil brush and the white art crayon just to create a stencil look on top of the color that I created. So for this, all I do is I scribble the crayon on my craft mat, pick up the color with my stencil brush, and go on a circular motion on top of the stencil that I want to create the image, and you're going to have it at the bottom. This stencil is from Cartabella, it's from the Spring Market collection, I believe. And all I'm doing is, you're going to see me that I pick up the color and I'm going to move the stencil around. My idea is to create kind of a column on the left-hand side of the background, where I'm going to put my picture and all the leaves that you saw me creating a little bit ago. And this is pretty much what I did. I'm not going to show you all of it because it's going to be repetitive. But when I get to the ends, I don't want to add white. So my choice is going to be to bring some of the yellow and some of the purples that I used. Now for the top, I am using yellow and a little bit of this gold kind of ochre tone just to give me a warm on the yellow. And I'm going to stretch a little bit of the branches, in this case, outside of the yellow stripe that I created. And I'm going to do the same with the purple. And to get to the purple, I'm mixing a little bit of the violet with a little bit of the fuchsia. And then again, I'm going to put the stencil at the bottom part of the last stripe. And then I'm just going to go with my stencil brush to create, think of it as like branches coming off the background. And that's pretty much it. Once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and start building the layout. And the first thing that you're going to see me do is actually create the frame for this layout. And like I said, this paper is called Collect and Document from the Vicky Beauty Field Notes collection. Everything that I'm using is available at SCrapbook Nerd. And all I did is trim it with my paper trimmer. And actually, I bought it from SCrapbook Nerd too. Just a frame at about an inch on each side. And then I'm going to glue the cardstock straight onto it. Now, I'm going to use the B side of the same paper to actually matte my picture. I like that peach tone in the background. I think it's going to make the picture stand out. And then I'm going to use the A side just to create a layer behind it, just because it has this like light blue kind of color in the background, and my niece is wearing this grayish blue t-shirt, so it's actually going to make the picture stand out. And I'm going to add a little piece of foam adhesive in between. I want a little bit of I want the picture to pop out of the layer, and I'm going to glue it straight onto the layer on kind of a little bit of a tilt. I don't want it to be straight. I want it to have a little bit of movement. And then you see me doing, all I'm doing is just playing with the leaves. I have an idea what I want. Like I said, I'm thinking of it kind of forms an S. So that was my idea, kind of an S, and I want the leaves to come off of the picture and create the movement. And all I'm doing right now is I'm gluing them and adding some foam adhesive to parts of the leaves just to create the movement and to create the lift. I don't want it to be flat. I want it to have some movement. If you've seen my work, you know that I love a lot of dimension, a lot of movement to my pages, and they do fit in my in my sleeves, so I'm okay with that. Now, if you follow my work, then you know that I have a tendency to stamp entire sheets of cardstock and set them aside for future projects to have at hand. Sometimes some of these flowers came from a previous project from Scrapbook Nerd. I created an entire background with distress oxides, a stamp on top of it, and just kept the flowers. And these are just some of the extras that I have kept. And they just coincide that it give me kind of a tone on the background. And I'm loving what this looks like. I use a few of the ephemera pieces from the Field Notes collection too. Now, I thought about adding a title that was black, but I thought it stand out too much. And I wanted to keep these rich tones of fall, so I'm going to use gold. And these stickers are the puffy stickers from the Sweet and Simple collection from Pink Fresh Studio. They're going to spell hello amazing, and I'm going to use the word fall using some old Heidi Swap stickers that I had on my stash. And I think I got it from Scrapbook Nerd too. After that, I am bringing some of the puffy stickers, and these are from the Willow Lane collection by Maggie Holmes. I really like those leaves, and I think they're just gonna add to the richness and bring some of the gold from the title onto the clusters of leaves that I'm adding. And after that, I'm gonna embellish the rest of the page using a Field Notes collection. And you're gonna see me that I bring up some pieces of chipboard onto the layout, and then I'm gonna bring some watercolor stickers. I'm gonna bring some cardstock stickers from actually All the Good Things collection. All of this, most of it is from Vicky Butin, and I'm gonna add a little bit of a foam adhesive along the way just to have the little stains pop up. After that's done, I'm adding a few little more gold details, and this come from the puffy stickers that I have. And then I went and found the clear stickers that come in the Field Notes watercolor stickers, and I added a few to the bottom because it just gives me the little hint of black without sticking out. And then also the yellow sticker that goes at the top, that goes from I think it's from the All the Good Things collection cardstock sticker. Once that's done, I added the date and a few lines of journal with white pen. And then I'm adding also some gold color shine from Heidi Swap. And the only thing that Scrapbook Nerd doesn't have is the Altenew white ink. That's from my stash. And that's about it. I hope you try it. Don't forget that if you have any questions, you can always contact me. I would love to help you. Don't forget to check Scrapbook Nerd. Like I said, everything that you have seen used here have come from the store. They have a lot of things. There's so many things in the store right now, and so it's amazing. So as always, check the blog. So I'm gonna link it at the bottom so you can take all of the details. And thank you so much for joining me. Hope to see you in the next video. Take care.